Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. Hope everyone is doing okay this morning. So let's hop across the pond. I found this story amazing, and I was going to do it yesterday and didn't get the chance to do it. Rees-Mogg. So Rees-Mogg is one of the key Brexiteers. He's the one that's been threatening the Prime Minister, essentially holding the sword of Damocles of a no-confidence vote over her head if she doesn't bow to the whims of the Brexiteers. The ideologically bound who know who they are and know what they want. Regardless of what's taking place on the ground, they have a clear view of what they want. They want to leave the European Union. Now, here's the catch. They've been somewhat squirrely with what this was going to be like. Meaning, the reality of this on the ground has been, this doesn't look good. And it seems like the Prime Minister, almost haphazardly, is going for a Mad Max Brexit because, for the most part, she can't come up with a cohesive plan to give the public what they want, but also to satisfy the interests of business, which means in some kind of regulatory alignment with the European Union, which means it's not Brexit. It's BNO, Brexit in name only. It's a no-win situation. They voted for something that they could never deliver. Now, Mogg, however, and Boris Johnson, David Davis, they've been pushing for this idea of Brexit. Now, to some degree, their critique of what the Prime Minister is pushing is true. It's not really a Brexit. You're still in regulatory alignment with the European Union. Fair enough. But let's be honest. They've pushed this idea of Brexit as if it wasn't going to hurt. As if you could have some kind of pull and ripping yourself away from the European Union without there being much pain involved in the process of pulling and ripping yourself away from the European Union. Well, that's not true. That's not true. You have companies screaming. That's not true. Ultimately, you have businesses in the European Union where they're giving advisory saying, hey, the moment that we sever ties with Britain, they're going to be fundamentally something different. So you may want to get your business somewhere here else in the European Union as opposed to Britain. It is going to hurt the companies, smaller companies, businesses that have anything to do with the border issue. It is going to hurt. It's as if Boris Johnson and Rees-Mogg operated this particular push, even now, from the standpoint of politics or political push to get the Britain out of the European Union. They did it without almost any regard for what was going to take place for the people on the ground, people who were not of their particular class. And I think that's where it comes in. The reasons that they want to leave the European Union versus the reason that they advocated of why to leave the European Union are different. They want to leave the European Union because they want to get the best benefits that they can get for business that they feel that the European Union stifles. Now, the argument that they sold you to get you out of the European Union was nation rights. Britain needs to be a state. Britain needs to have control of its borders, etc., etc. The reason they wanted to do it, I'm trying to make this clear to you, there's a class distinction here that's taking place. What they sold you versus what they wanted is somewhat different. Beyond that point, they are somewhat unfazed by the outcome. Whereas people on the ground are fazed by the outcome because the people on the ground are going to be hit when those businesses lose business. Let's look at what Rees-Mogg said. 50 years. A leading Brexiteer has suggested it could take 50 years to judge whether Brexit has been an economic success amid fears of quitting the European Union will lead to a downturn. The influential Conservative MP Rees-Mogg, who chairs the European Research Group as a backbencher of the Tories, was pressed by Kristen Guru Murthy of the Channel 4 News about whether he would quit if the economy does take a hit next year when Brexit happens. Rees-Mogg insists the full impact will not be known for years to come, as he hailed leaving the European Union as the greatest opportunity economically for this country. The Somerset MP suggested the broadcaster was asking a simple question about economic success or failure based on a complex set of circumstances, adding, "We will know at some point, of course we will, but it's a question of time scale. So how long have you got? We won't know the full economic consequence of a very long time. We really won't." Of course not. But I mean, we'll have an indication. I mean, we'll know if it's been chaos. We'll know if it's been job losses. The overwhelming economic opportunity for Brexit is over the next 50 years. 50 years. How convenient you'll be dead and gone before we figure out whether or not all of those successive generations will be in some level of economic turmoil. 50 years. That's amazing. They didn't advocate for that when they were trying to sell this Brexit idea, were they? Look, I'll leave it here. I don't have anything else to add to it. I made my point before leading up to this. There's a difference in class. There's a difference in the things that they advocate for versus the reasons that they sell you for those things. There is a difference in class, even from the standpoint of consequences. If there is a hit, do you believe that Rees-Mogg is going to really be materially damaged by that hit? And don't you know that for whatever reason, plutocrats always end up doing pretty goddamn well when everybody else falls to the wayside? I suppose Rees-Mogg and Boris Johnson deals with this issue as if looking at it through a glass, that they themselves are somehow buffered based upon the cash that's in their wallet and their stature. Everyone else, however, not so much. Not so much. And again, I'm not saying this is someone who's for or against Brexit. I myself look at this through a glass. I don't live there. But I do acknowledge that it does look like people are going to take a hit. There's a story now where they're talking about they're stockpiling medicines and vaccines. That doesn't come across as if things are going spiffy. It comes across as things are in utter shambles. So I'll leave this here. I don't want this one to go too long. Rees-Mogg pontificating 50 years in the future. That's when we'll know the outcome of this thing that I've been advocating so ferociously for. I will be dead and gone before the consequences of this are completely found. Isn't that fucking convenient for Rees-Mogg? That's pretty goddamn convenient. All right. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support through Patreon. Thanks, guys.